Hey everyone, I just finished an awesome project and it is probably my new favorite furniture flip that I've done. I was out garage sailing one day and this one particular garage sale had a lot of old cheap furniture for sale and I was pretty much deciding which was the coolest thing to take home because I wanted to take it all home. I was scouting the lot and I turned around and did a double take at this antique buffet. I thought it was the coolest thing ever and I was afraid of what the price would be, but the guy selling it looks at me and goes, $30. And I kind of laugh and go, you're joking, right? And the guy goes, nah man, $30, get it out of here. So I gave the guy $40 since I had a bunch of 20s on me and we made each other's day. Unfortunately though, when I was bringing it home, I lost one of the cabinet doors. So I went back and tried looking for it the next few times I went down that road, but I couldn't find it. So I ultimately decided to make a bold attempt at recreating my own cabinet doors out of 1x4 material. I measured out both doors to make sure they were the same dimensions and marked and cut the first board to length. That's when I learned that the opening for the door that I lost was out a square, so I worked on the other door first. I was able to stack 2 boards full height but had to rip the top one. So I measured it out, made some marks, and using one of the boards as a straight edge, drew a line and cut it with a circular saw. Straightest cut I've ever made. For the other outer square door, I used an actual 1x4 and cut a total of 5 smaller boards, again ripping the top one. And luckily I was able to correct the squareness a little. For gluing, I laid out all the boards on a newspaper and glued the tops of each of them with Titebond wood glue and clamped them together. Then I wiped off the excess glue, tore off the newspaper, and set them up to dry. When they were done drying, I unclamped and sanded down both doors smooth. Then I took some wood filler, filled in all the cracks, and sanded them down again. I bought some ornamental trim from Lowe's and cut them to length, mitering the ends at 45 degrees. I then filed the edges and tacked them in with nails. For the hinges, in order to match the old doors, I had to take a hammer and chisel and create an inset in the new doors for the hinges to go. Then I marked out the center of each door and drilled holes for the new hardware. I took a punch and set the nails into the doors and filled the holes in with some wood filler. I had planned on painting the main part of the buffet since it would be hard to match the new doors and the rest of the buffet with stain, but I wanted to give the paint a distressed, rustic look to where the wood would show through a little, so I still stained the new doors dark to sort of give the illusion that everything matched. I was definitely going to refinish the top though, so I cleaned it off and sanded it down with 80 grit sandpaper to the bare wood. I believe it's mahogany, which just added to the charm of this buffet and made me feel even worse about losing the door. But I was definitely going to take advantage of the top, and I used Minwax's semi-transparent dark walnut stain, which matched the old stain almost exactly, except it was more transparent and brought out the grain much better. Then I coated it in a warm satin polyurethane, and it looked gorgeous when it was done. I got to work removing the hardware and scuffing the rest of the wood to prep for paint. And while I was removing the hardware on one of the inside drawers, I found a maker's mark from Rockford Furniture Co., which means this was made only about 45 minutes from our house. And I was so excited to look up the company and find out the value of this buffet and when it was made, but I cannot find anything at all about this company online. I found an old picture from Rockford Superior Furniture Co. and a buffet that was similar to this one from 1925, so I'm guessing this one was made in the 20s, which is really cool. When I was done scuffing the rest of the wood, I wiped it all down to get all the dirt and dust off, and while I was moving it back into the garage, I realized how wobbly the legs were, so I tightened the screws on them and taped it off for paint. For the color, I went bold and used Valspar's Sapphire Ear Bobs, which is sort of a mix between navy and lavender. And to give the paint a sort of distressed look, I diluted it with water to thin it. It was looking a lot more purple than I had anticipated, and I was a little worried at first, but it looked really nice in the end, so trust me, it gets better. The trick was making it look intentionally rustic and not just like I did a terrible paint job, but I got the hang of it quickly. After I had started painting, I decided to leave the sort of middle border in the bottom unpainted, and I'm glad I did. I bought some cute, distressed white wall decor from Hobby Lobby for the cabinet doors, and I just unscrewed the brackets so they would sit flush against the new doors and threaded them on. I also bought new hardware for the drawers, and at first I contemplated leaving the old hardware on, but I of course decided on the new hardware. I bought some for the inside drawers as well, but they stuck out too far and didn't give the doors enough clearance, so I had to leave the old hardware on for those. And then the main idea was done, but I still had to refinish the wooden parts that I decided to leave natural, and then it was done. I definitely outdid myself with this one. I am so happy with it and honestly shocked that I was able to make my own functional cabinet doors that look really nice. I had a hard time listing it and wanted to keep it for myself, but I did end up listing it on Facebook Marketplace for $300, which is 10 times the original asking price. I hope this gorgeous historic buffet finds a new home where it can be showcased and appreciated. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below, and I will see you in the next video.